What's good, peeps? It's your boy Eduard Todor. Are you ready for this video? Are you ready? Okay, I woke up this morning, I was looking through my YouTube, I was just like scrolling through, and I see this shit, okay? And with everything that's happening on YouTube nowadays, I was literally ready to drop a diss track. I was about to like go to a studio and just like drop some bars on these homies, bro. Oh, I got so mad. Alright? So, check this shit out, alright? Check this shit out. There's this dude out there, right? The channel's called The Hidden Truth, but I think the original guy is some other dude. Apparently, this video was produced by the Most Holy Family Monastery, 4425 Schneider Road, Fillmore, New York. 147035, whatever that means. There's a phone number and all that shit. www.vaticancatholic.com. So, you already know this is going to be some juicy content right here, okay? Basically, it's a 2 hours, 43 minutes, okay, of this dude, like, monotoning through how magicians use demonic powers. The amount of comments I have to answer about magic being real and being fake and, you know, superpowers and all this shit is actually annoying me at this point. Okay, and the thing is, here's the thing, right? A lot of this is our fault. It's the magician's fault, and I'm not denying that, right? It's a lot of the times it's magicians claiming they have superpowers. There's one dude on here that I was like, okay, fair enough, you might as well believe that shit, because he literally says he works with a spirit, and he was on America's Got Talent. I really dislike that shit. And I know David Copperfield does it. I know David Blaine has kind of like implied he uses that. Dynamo, you know, some of his presentations are like, do you like voodoo and all that shit. So I understand why people would believe this, right? I kind of understand. But then this guy is just like trying to look for reasons to believe it at this point, right? It's okay. Let's just get into it, and I'll start roasting this homeboy. Let me put my headphones on, because this one's gonna get a bit juicy. Alright, so annotations. As soon as it starts, there's annotations, alright? High quality video incoming right here.
This video will be an examination of some of the world's top magicians. Almost everyone believes that the best magicians in the world only use incredibly quick sleight of hand to perform their, quote, tricks.
I wonder why, bruh. I wonder why. You know, maybe because it's like, what happens, you feel me?
Many have the impression that the top magicians are just so good at what they do that there's a natural explanation for their performances, even if we can't see it or figure it out. In other words, most believe that there must be a non-spiritual explanation for all the apparent signs and wonders magicians perform. While this may be the correct...
I love how he slips in signs and wonders. No, bro, they're acts, they're tricks, okay? Just call them what they are. Signs and wonders. Like, he's trying to, like, integrate his, like, spiritual talk in this shit.
conclusion for some of the, quote, magic that people generally see. There are other magic acts that clearly go beyond the laws of nature. Here is a young magician that can make CDs instantly appear.
Oh shit, dude! Oh, like it goes from it goes from this dude floating up into the sky, like hundreds of meters above ground, to oh, this guy can make CDs appear, and that's definitely demonic and spiritual.
He will also change their size, shape, and color. Notice that the magic show he performs on is blasphemously called, quote, God Hands 2.
Oh no.
For example, there...
Yeah, bro, it's called manipulation. Have you ever seen stage magic? That's kind of what happens. You know, you can manipulate cards, you can manipulate all sorts of shit. And this is triggering me so hard. I'm not gonna lie.
There is no way without supernatural assistance that cards can instantly appear in someone's hands out of thin air.
All right, let me just call my spirit Bobby for a second. Let me just where my cards at. I mean, what cards? What cards are we talking about? There are no cards. Cards don't exist. Cards are, they're not anywhere. But oh, Spirit Bobby, can you make a card appear? Oh, yeah, that was my spirit animal, Bobby. He made a card appear. Oh, no physical explanation, guys. There's no physical explanation for this shit. It's 100% demons, guys. It's demonic, guys. Demons.
But as you can see, that is exactly what is happening. Yet most will still insist, despite the clear evidence to the contrary, that these magic acts do have an explanation that...
The clear evidence to the contrary. What evidence is that? Because the fact that you don't understand how it's done? That's the whole point of magic, you moron. That's the whole point. If you understood how it's done, then why are you watching? There's no point of watching it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Doesn't require the supernatural to be involved. They will say that being this good at magic is only the result of a tremendous amount of hard work which has enabled them to perfect their craft. But
yeah, it is. And that's what pisses me off about this, is that this is, I mean, again, it's not just the people that believe this fault, but it's also our fault, the magicians, that we don't actually educate the people watching, of the fact that it's a trick. And it annoys me because, like, we spent hours and hours and hours and hours practicing this shit. And then some dude comes along and he's like, well, he doesn't have any actual skills. He just made a contract with the devil, right? Which is, like, supposedly something that anyone could do. Like, bro, come on, man. Like, but again, a lot of this stuff is our fault because we tell people, well, I don't tell people, but a lot of magicians do. They're like, oh, this is, I do this with, spirits or whatever the hell they say, right? And it's like, it just hurts ourselves because then, like, if they figure out a trick, instead of appreciating the art and looking at how the performance is done and looking at how impressive the act and the misdirection and all that shit, they just figure out the trick and then they're like, oh, it sucks, I know how it's done. But it's our fault, you know what I mean? Now, in saying that, this guy's trying to find reasons to believe this shit. Like, at this point, he's not just like listening to what magicians say and, like, David Copperfield saying that he uses spirits and like, oh, he uses spirit. He's just trying to find reasons to believe this shit. He's just using cognitive bias, you know what I mean? Like, it's not...
That can't be the real explanation for how these individuals are able to perform this kind of magic.
It's funny, even in this day and age, they still think magicians use their sleeves. So all you do is cast a spell. And there's the A's.
Really? Oh no. Oh no, dude. That's such good evidence that oh man, that evidence is compelling right there, dude. That evidence is hella compelling. Dude, all I have to do is just cast a spell just like that. Oh man, bro, I am in touch with all the spirits today. Like, they've been just on point with their shit, you feel me? I had nothing to do with that one. 100%. That wasn't me. Me, right? Nah.
They could only perform these signs and wonders with the assistance of spiritual forces. As we will see, this has even been admitted by the top magicians. In this video, I will provide overwhelming evidence that most of the top magicians, whether they know it or not, are possessed, and that...
Whether they know it or not. Yeah, bro, I spend, hours and hours and hours doing this shit and performing, like, getting good at sleight of hand magic, but I might not know that I'm using spiritual powers. I might think I'm using sleight of hand, but in reality, you see what I'm saying? You see what get out of here, bro. I'm getting so triggered. I really shouldn't be this angry at this shit.
They are certainly assisted by demons or fallen angels. Some may ask how I believe these magicians became possessed and fell under such demonic control. Most of them became possessed by attempting to contact spirits or by fooling around with the occult. Some of them may have sold their souls to the devil. In return,
definitely.
The devil gave them special power, fame, and fortune in this world. Assistance from the devil and demons is the way these top...
See, that's a classic trick, man. Like, if you did any kind of research into actually... See, the problem is, like, even if I told you how that shit's done, right? You're always gonna find some other shit that you don't know how it's done, right? Look, okay. Let me prove my point real quick. Where's my pen? Here's what I'm gonna do, alright? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to get a good angle on this shit. Alright, so you see this pen, right? I'm gonna vanish the cap. That's what I'm gonna do. Ready? I'm gonna use this as a wand, as a magic wand. It amplifies the power, the spiritual. Alright. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh crap, I think I went too hard. I think my pen disappeared. Oh no. Oh no. I wonder where it's gone. I wonder. Alright, now you know how that's done. Okay? You know how that's done. You'll see another 10 million acts that you don't know how they're done. So even if I explain one of them, right? You're still gonna be like, well, what about that one? What about that one? What about that one? And it's your mentality that's wrong. Because your default is to believing that everything is real, as opposed to questioning and being skeptical. So let me give you a story real quick. Back in the day when I used to still go to church, there was this one lady. I had actually just learned / bought / whatever this new trick where I could like go like this, and smoke would appear from my hands, and it was like thick vaporous smoke. And I just did it to her like literally after church. She like freaked out. And then she's like, go wash your hands real quick. Because she thought maybe I have something on my hands, which I didn't. I washed my hands. I did it again. You know, I pulled up my sleeves at the end. She's like, oh, okay, if you don't explain to me this one, you use demonic powers. And I was like, oh my God. I was like 14 or some shit. I just explained to her how I did it, right? And she was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I did it like a trick the week later. And she defaulted to the same shit. And I was like, yo, I explained, like... So nowadays, like, if I see people like this, I literally just go with it. I'm like, yeah, I'm demon. I am demon. Alright? Look at this. You see that? I'm gonna write an incantation in the air, and it's gonna make the pen disappear. You feel me? Like, I just go with it and freak them out at this point. But, like, you know, when I'm performing, really, like, I'll try to get the audience to understand this is all just sleight of hand. But then you have some people that they'll just believe what they want, and that's what I'm annoyed at. And people like this, right, they don't try to question anything. They just believe what they want, and then they make long ass videos that are like 2 hours 40 minutes long, and then all the comments. Ready? Let's look at the comments real quick. Just cheeky little, right? This is the work of Iblis and his army, no doubt, right? And it's like 65 likes. Waiting for the random retard to come in and try to use science to debunk the satanic magic. It's not science, bro. It's just sleight of hand magic. It's like, it's nothing, like, it's physical. Obviously, it's science. It's physics. But you don't need to be a scientist, bro. It's what I do. I've been doing this shit for a long time. It's what I do. Trust me. You know what I mean? It's devil worshipping, my friend. Use it to do it. My friend uses it. Okay, he's terrible at grammar. Uses it, and he's in a mental hospital once he knew and saw that Lucifer was real. Magic is a way to mock Jesus' miracles. Walk on water, turn water into wine, resurrection, blah, 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 blah. Goes on this whole rant, right? It's just people confirming their biases with one another. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, let's just get back in the video and see what else he talks about. But at this point, he's lost all credibility. You know what I mean?
Magicians have acquired these special, quote, magic skills, which makes them different from regular magicians who aren't necessarily receiving spiritual intervention. The spiritual assistance and intervention of demons is the...
So now you're going to say that there's some magicians that do it, some that... I mean, you might think I use demons. I use demons, bro. For sure. Hit me up. I'll hook you up with my connects.
The only explanation for how the world's top magicians are able to do what they do. In this video, you will see many examples of false signs and wonders performed by many of the top magicians in the world. This will...
I love how he mixes, like, a card trick, you know what I mean, with, like, walking down a wall. Like...
prove that a spiritual world exists. You have just seen some footage of magicians referred to as card manipulators. Cards instantly appear in their hands, and they don't appear there from any known natural source. This is similar to another kind of magic called face changing. also called mask changing. In face changing, what look like masks instantly appear on the faces of the performers. The so-called art form of face changing originated in China. Even though more than 1.35 billion people live in China, it is estimated that only about 200 practice face changing. We will take a closer look at arguably the top 2 face changers in the world, Wei Shu Quan and He Hongqing. Quan is considered to be the best face changer in the world. For example, in one of his 3-minute performances, he changed his face 60 different times. It's quite obvious from looking at different performances by Quan that he could change his face 500 different times in 3 minutes. Take a look at this guy. He doesn't even touch his face. Notice how every single time he changes his quote mask, it is placed perfectly.
Okay, at this point I'm just getting bored. He's like, notice how he places his hand in front of his face. Like, isn't this guy like a priest or something? Surely you're used to public speaking. Like, get yourself some tonality in your voice, man. I did see a couple ones where David Copperfield was actually saying like, oh, I'm gonna call the spirits or whatever. And that's understandable. Again, I was saying before how it annoys me when magicians do that. And it's understandable if you believe that because they have something that you don't know and then they tell you how it's done, so you're inclined to believe it. That's understandable. But all the shit before that, let's skip ahead and see what else.
Okay, so look, if I squeeze the deck.
Oh, this is David Blaine.
See how I make the cards start to just disappear?
David Blaine's my boy, by the way.
The whole deck starts to vanish. See, everything disappears except for hearts, because the card that you sign. And you can keep the...
Are you kidding me?
Here's the idea. Watch close. If I squeeze the deck, Jimmy, see, I make the cards start to vanish. See how all the cards start to just disappear? See, everything disappears except for hearts because that's what she thought of. And of course,
Oh, anyway, this dude goes on for a long ass time, and I literally cannot be bothered watching the rest of this shit. But there are some valid points in this whole thing. I'm not gonna lie, there are some valid points. Like if you look at a lot of the old school magicians, a lot of their posters, they used to have demons in them. A lot of a lot of magicians use like kind of a demonic theme, or like not necessarily a demonic theme, but like kind of like a, they'll use a devil's tail, devil's horns. I think David Blaine had like I can't remember exactly, but there are a lot of kind of references, but that's because back in the 1700s, 1800s, that was the vibe. All magicians claimed to be supernatural, right? And because people believed it. But I think as society evolved, information became much more available, people started realizing like, hey, this shit isn't real. And so magicians changed the way they perform. Well, some magicians, at least, I think they should change at the very least, change the way they perform in a way that is an act. It's a performance, and everyone knows it's fake, and everyone knows it's a performance, but you can't figure it out, and it looks real, and you're giving the spectators the illusion and the feeling of it being real, but it's not. And that's what's fun about it. The fact that it's not is exactly what's fun. I mean, I honestly, wonder, if I started claiming that I have supernatural powers and started going to all these shows and pretending like I talk to spirits and shit, would I get really famous real quick? Because I feel like it's something that if you do it, like if you just start claiming that shit, people will be like, gullible people will just start believing it. And, I'm here to tell you, do not believe this shit. It's not real, right? And enjoy the act and the performance for what it is. And if you figure something out, try to figure out how they made the illusion possible. Look at the misdirection, look at the staging, look at the costuming, look at the lighting, look at the way, the body language, look at everything as a performance and try to appreciate it for what it is as a performance. So that was my little rant on this thing. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe. I do these videos daily, mostly reaction videos, not like this, but I do these videos daily. If you want to talk to me, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on, all the social media platforms that you want to hit me up on. Facebook, what else do I have? Twitter, I have Twitter, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what else to react to in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!